Hello, my name is Jiso, and I'm reading Master Dōgen Shōbōgenzō. And we're in Kai-In-Zanmai, chapter 31, Samādhi, state like the sea. Paragraph 17. Because of not speaking of the appearance of self, myself is in the middle of the sea. The surface before me is eternal preaching as 10,000 ripples following a single slight wave. And the wave behind me is the sutra of the flower of the wonderful Dharma as a single wave following 10,000 slight ripples. Even though I have wound and cast 1,000 feet or 10,000 feet of fishing line, regrettably the line just hangs straight down. The aforementioned surface before and surface behind is the surface of the sea that I am on. It is like saying a concrete thing before, a concrete thing after. A concrete thing before, a concrete thing after describes the placement of a thing upon a thing. It is not that in the middle of the sea there is a person. The sea of my being in the sea is neither an abode of worldly people nor a place loved by sacred people, but my being there exists only in the middle of the sea. This is the preaching proclaimed solely and eternally. This being in the middle of the sea neither belongs to the middle nor belongs to inside and outside. It exists peacefully and eternally, preaching the sutra of the flower of Dharma. It does not reside in east, west, south or north. It is in a full boat emptily loaded with moonlight. It is in a full boat emptily loaded with moonlight to come back. This real refuge is the process itself, here and now, of coming back. Who could describe it as the drudgery of staying in water? It is realized only within the steep confines of the Buddha's state of truth. We call this realization the seal that seals water as water. Expressing it further, it is the seal that seals space as space, or still further, the seal that seals mud as mud. The seal that seals water, though not necessarily the seal that seals the sea, in the further ascendant state may be the seal that seals the sea. This is what is meant by the seal of the sea, the seal of the water, the seal of mud, and the seal of the mind. Having been transmitted one to one, the mind seal seals water, seals mud, and seals space. Great Master Gensho of Sozan Mountain on one occasion is asked by a monk, "I have heard it said in the teachings that the Great Sea does not accommodate dead bodies. What is meant by the sea?" The Master says, "It includes myriad existence." The monk says, "Then how can it not accommodate dead bodies?" The Master says, "What has stopped breathing does not belong." The monk says, "Given that the sea includes myriad existence, how can what has stopped breathing not belong?" The Master says, "Myriad existence, being beyond those virtues, has stopped breathing." This Sozan is the brother disciple of Ungo. Here Tozan's fundamental instruction has found its mark exactly. The present words, "I have heard it said in the teachings," means the true teachings of the Buddhist patriarch, not the teachings of the common and the sacred, and not the small teachings of those who attach themselves to the Buddha Dharma. The Great Seal does not accommodate dead bodies. The Great Sea does not accommodate dead bodies. This Great Sea is beyond the inland seas, the outlying seas and such like, and it may be beyond the 8 seas and the like. Such things are not the concern of Buddhist students. We recognize as sea not only that which is not the sea. We recognize as sea not only that which is not the sea. We recognize as the sea that which is the sea. Even if we forcibly insist that the sea is the sea, we cannot call it the Great Sea. The Great Sea does not always mean profound depths of water of the 8 qualities, and the Great Sea does not always mean 9 great pools of salt water, and so on. Real dharmas may be its realized composition. Why should the Great Sea always be deep water? Therefore, the reason human beings and gods ask the question, what is the sea, is that the Great Sea remains unknown to human beings and gods, and so they express the Great Sea in words. People who ask about it are disturbing their attachment to the sea. It does not accommodate dead bodies. The meaning of not accommodating may be acting with a clear head when a clear head comes, and acting with a dull head when a dull head comes. A dead body is dead ash, a mind that never changes, however many times it meets the spring. At the same time, a dead body is something that no person has ever experienced. Therefore, no one knows what it is. The Master's words includes myriad existence, express the sea. The fundamental principle he is expressing is not the assertion that some anonymous subject includes myriad existence. It is inclusive myriad existence. He is not saying that the Great Sea includes myriad existence, but that what is expressing inclusive myriad existence is just the Great Sea itself. Though we do not know what it is for the moment myriad existence. Even to meet the figure of a Buddha or the figure of a patriarch is just a momentary misperception of myriad existence. In the time of inclusion, even mountains are not confined to rising to the top of the highest peak, and even water is not confined to moving along the bottom of the deepest sea. Drawing in may be like this, and letting go may be like this. We speak of the sea of Buddha nature, and we speak of Vairocana's sea. These are just myriad existence. Although the surface of the sea is invisible, those who are swimming along do not doubt it. For example, in expressing himself as a bamboo thicket, Tafuku says, the odd 1 or 2 stalks are awry, and 3 or 4 stalks are askew. His is the path of action that realizes myriad existence as a confusion of mistakes. Even so, why does he not say 1,000 crooked ones, 10,000 crooked ones? Why does he not say 1,000 thickets, 10,000 thickets? We should not forget the truth that is present like this in a thicket of bamboo. Even Sozan's expression, it includes myriad existence, is just myriad existence itself. The monk says, how can what has stopped breathing not belong? Though this might mistakenly be seen in the form of doubt, it is just the working of the ineffable mind. When Master Rinzai says, I have long had my doubts about this fellow, it is simply that he is meeting really with the fellow in, I have long had my doubts about this fellow. At the place where the ineffable exists, how can what is stopped breathing not belong? And how can the Great Sea not accommodate dead bodies? At this concrete place, this already is inclusive myriad existence. How can what has stopped breathing not belong? Remember, inclusion is beyond belonging. Inclusion is not accommodating. Even if myriad existence is a dead body, it may be that not accommodating directly goes through 10,000 years, and that not belonging is this old monk placing 1 stone. Sozan says, myriad existence, being beyond those virtues, has stopped breathing. This myriad existence, whether it has stopped breathing or has not stopped breathing, may be not belonging. Even if a dead body is a dead body, If it experiences action in the state of myriad existence, it will include myriad existence, and it may be inclusion itself. In the process before and the process after, described as myriad existence, there are peculiar virtues. But this is not the state of having stopped breathing. It is what is usually described as the blind leading the blind. The principle of the blind leading the blind, going further, is that the blind person leading blind person, and that of the blind masses leading the blind masses. At the time when the blind masses are leading the blind masses, inclusive myriad existence includes inclusive myriad existence. Are there any number of additional great truths which are other than myriad existence? Before such consideration has ever been realized, the state is Samādhi, state like the sea. It's a small dog wandering around somewhere. Shōbōgenzō Kai-In-Zanmai, written at Kannon-dori Kosho Horinji Temple on the 20th day of the first month of summer in the 3rd year of Ninji, 1242. Okay, that's the end of chapter 31. Take care.